Yes, people. Welcome to the Triggered Thoughts podcast. Myself, the official Genius Man. We have with us another guest today by the name of
Divine Lady 23.
And I'm your boy Verbz in the building.
Welcome, guys, to another episode. How you all doing today?
Blessed. Always blessed. No matter what's going on, we're blessed.
Looking well, Divine, looking well. Verbz, looking good.
Thank you.
Respect, man. How are you?
Yeah, good, man. Man, I got an email from work today saying, just to be careful. They mentioned about George Floyd was mentioned and another guy was mentioned as well. And they just said, obviously, although it's not the area, but they're just saying, just be vigilant. So, when you're getting them sort of emails now.
I think it's protocol because one of my friends, I just come on the phone from him a little while ago and he works in social services in, what's it called, where Stephen Lawrence was murdered again.
Yeah, that's it. That's who was mentioned. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's it. That's what was mentioned. Yeah.
They got a generic email saying the same thing as well, innit? So I was just saying to my friend, because he was saying he's been on the train traveling from South Norwood down there and he's come across a couple of situations where like a couple of the white guys on the train and stuff have been kind of hostile to him, not saying anything but the looks. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm saying when I'm out too.
Yeah,
not to me, but to other people, and it's
right. Yeah, so I was saying to him, if you've seen that and you feel that, then maybe it's best you go to your manager or your director and tell them, look, man, you don't feel safe, and play it safe, man. Work from home. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, if you can, yeah.
Yeah, it's not worth it, is it?
No.
Yeah,
it's not.
Go on, man.
It's not worth it. And I think people need to make sure that they're not being baited out to go and do something stupid where there's going to be ramifications for it. And I think because of a few small ignorant people, we can't all lose our head because, like we were saying before, whether we think so or not, I feel like we have evolved as a people, as humanity. And you've only got to look down your bloodline to see no one has a pure bloodline, for one, as well. You got to look in your family. I've got people who are white connected to me. I have people who are mixed race. And I think we need to get out of that ignorant stance of just not liking someone because they're different from you, or because their skin color is different, or their religious beliefs are different, because
it's ignorance.
We all have so much to teach each other. And stop being so scared of each other because we're not as different as we think we are. I'm telling you, I've worked in the NHS, and when people come in, you got white people living in rundown flats. You got black people living in rundown flats. You got Asian people living in rundown flats. You got all different minorities and people from different backgrounds literally on the brink of having to go to the food bank or losing loved ones, struggling with their money, having issues with their children. We all go through the same stuff. None of us are actually that different. We all suffer.
Yeah, it's true.
Same. None of us are going to leave this place unscarved. None of us.
100%.
And this thing of people thinking, oh, well, we don't need certain people. I just think that's very ignorant because we all need each other. We do. Yeah. How are we supposed to survive if we don't all connect and teach each other stuff and have an open mind? And what are we showing our children? I'm not feeding no negative stuff like that to my children. I'm not telling my children to hate white people. I'm not telling my children to hate Asians. I'm not doing it. I'm not telling my children to believe everything and hate Muslims as well. Believe everything you hear about Muslims and see on social media or on the news. You have to learn to educate yourself. Look around. Because trust me, if the earth was being wiped clean right now, and you turned to the left of you or the right of you, and you saw someone who was of a different color, that's going to be the last thing on your mind. The last thing, literally. And going out there rioting and hiding behind the fact that innocent children were killed and tearing up your own community makes no sense. No sense. And then viciously attacking people. Don't do that, because there's some people who, if you poke the bear, they're going to react back. And that's not going to get anyone anywhere.
That's me.
That's the bear. He's the bear that
No, but I hear you, because I'm a bit like that in character, but I'm learning to not always take the bait. You have to be smart, and you can't even be so reactive, because when you're so reactive, that's when you make big errors. Big errors that you then have to pay the consequences for. They've put up a list of what you're going to be facing.
It's true. Yeah,
true. And not only that, how are you going to explain that to your kids that go to school and mix with everybody? How are you going to do that? It's so, I don't know. I just find it so ignorant, because for me, before we started putting all these stupid labels, we literally were just the human race. Literally. You got to look at the things they literally put in place to segregate us. Even religion. Everyone's got their own titles and everyone thinks that their religion is above everybody else's. How? When we all pray to one God? Doesn't make sense. Like, I don't know. For me, I teach my children about all different backgrounds and cultures in my house. Just as much as I cook Caribbean food, you might come and get a little spag bolly, or you might get some bangers and mash too, literally, because we are in a multi-diverse environment. So how can you be ignorant and think that, oh, I only want to stick to it? It doesn't work like that. If you even trace back your bloodline, you're going to see you've probably got many different backgrounds in you, literally, genetically. I've got Irish in me. And who else?
Yes.
What else? I don't even know. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's
Chinese as well.
Why? Because of my eyes. Do you know, people ask me that for real, because my eyes do slant, literally, and it looks so pretty, you know, and I just think we could do better as a people, honestly, because especially us adults, we got to remember whatever we do is what we're leaving behind for our children.
Yes.
And we ain't going to be here when they have to go through certain things. So why not try to leave a better type of world? Yeah. It takes nothing to greet your neighbor. It takes nothing to smile at someone. It takes nothing to even nod, say a little hello. It takes absolutely nothing. In fact, it takes more energy to hate and be bitter.
Yeah, it does.
You know, I'm a person, I'll smile at you on the street because I don't see why I need to look at you any other way, but smile. And you're not always going to get that back because people have been taught to be closed off. Thanks. People have been taught to be afraid of each other, literally. Yeah. And I get it as well. Everyone's distracted by so many things. That's why we can't heal. That's why we can't fully grow as well, because we're so distracted with the bills, the stress of life, the rat race. And then everyone's angry because you're living on a budget. You can barely buy food sometimes. You know, you've got people passing away left, right, and center. The bills are going up, but your wages ain't going up. I've been there. I've moved around 9 times. I've been on benefits as well as being a working person. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
When I was in a hostel, there was times I only had dry pasta to just make. No sauce, no nothing, you know? But if you just keep feeding the negative energy, you're going to stay right there. Whereas if you try to be a positive person and emulate that, you will be surprised what ripple effect it will have. You know? I just think it's a waste of energy for everyone to be so negative. And I just think we need to stop it and teach our children different. Literally.
Yeah, 100%.
You know? But I'm just talking.
No, you do your thing now. Do your thing now.
Yeah, because I don't like it. I mean, I'm a person, I say hello to my neighbours. nothing, you know. And if you happen to just not like me, I just more see that as a you problem. Literally.
Yeah.
That ain't got nothing to do with me. That's a you problem. And maybe you need to fix something and heal it. And I wish you all the healing, but that's not my problem. I emulate whatever energy I want to receive back. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I just think people need to try and adapt that a bit more, you know, because everyone is suffering. Everybody. You walk out on the street and I'm going to just say the government is failing people. Literally.
100%.
I see so many people right now on the street who clearly have mental health issues, just allowed to just walk the street, be aggressive, do whatever. And I'm like, we're on a slippery slope, literally, with how society is going, you know. And I think the people who are negative and push certain narratives out there are so loud with it that I feel like God's people need to stand up and talk a bit more.
Yeah, definitely. I agree.
And that's my stance on it. We need to talk up, because the people doing evil shit and inciting evil behavior are very, very cocky with it. So the people who are against it should be just as cocky speaking up against it. Literally. Yeah. And I don't care if you're racist, if you got an issue with Muslim, Christian, or you incite any of that negative shit, don't follow me. I don't need your follow. Straight up. I don't need your follow. I don't need your likes, because that's not what I'm trying to teach my children. And that's not what I want the people who enter into my energy field and vice versa to experience. I don't. Because I feel like we can all teach each other. I love learning about different cultures, trying different cultures' foods. It's interesting. Why can't we teach each other stuff? We're not that different. We might do things slightly different, but we're not that different, literally. Yeah. You know?
Yeah.
And it can be easily done, because I can't lie. When I go to my local nail shop, you've got every nationality there, and everyone gets on and everyone eats everyone's food. You have Asian people and they don't business. They want a box of some curry goat and rice. Literally. And they do. The yard man will come into the shop with his trolley and his food, and they buy it. Literally, respectfully, they do. And then you'll have auntie. Auntie's cool. Auntie's doing hair. Auntie gets on with everyone. So I don't know why everyone feeds the negative narratives that we can't all get on, because we actually can if we want to. It's a choice, you know? But yeah, I'm going off. Yeah, no, because I'm passionate about it, because growing up, I grew up on the street with on the estate with everyone. There was all of us there. You had black, you had white, you had Asian. Everyone was there, and we all played together. Literally, you might have had the odd one family that wanted to be negative or racist or prejudiced, but to be honest, no one really businessed with them, because we all did just get on. My best friend was Scottish growing up, and I loved going to her house and eating her food and being with her family. Literally, you know. Some of my favorite teachers in school were Caucasian people, you know, so you can't always feed the negative narratives based off of one donuts movement. I can't lie. You can't.
It's a mindset though, isn't it?
Yeah. And it starts from home, starts in school.
Yeah, it does.
It starts from platforms like what we're doing to kind of educate people, literally. You know, because I don't think it's fair when you just target one specific race or religion. I don't like things like that, because I know people from many walks of backgrounds, and I love all of them. I've got traveler friends. I've got friends from Australia. I've got people who are like from the Philippines and all that, follow me on Instagram. Do you know what I mean? And we all can teach each other stuff, literally. There's knowledge I have that I can give, and there's knowledge that they obviously have they could give. You know?
Each one teach one.
Yeah. And like I said, if you look down, you're going to see there's no such thing as a pure bloodline. So get that out your head, because there is.
Well said. It's true. Well said.
I got mixed race people in my family. I've got white people in my family. Like, I had a strenuous relationship, for example, with my mum, obviously due to me being abused, right?
Yeah.
And my best friend, two of my best friends are mixed race. One of them, her mum is black, and one of them, her mum is white. The one with the mum who was white, her name was Lynn, like my mum. My mum's name was Joy Lynn. And they had the same birthday. Imagine meeting a best friend and your best friend's mum's got the same name as your mum and the exact same birthday.
That's
and
crazy.
She was Caucasian. She was a white lady and she was my mum. I called her mum too, literally, you know. And when you see the family, everything's just mixed up. There's all different people there. I got a white sister. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, So for me, I'm like, haven't we evolved a little bit? Like, I get we do have to respect the history of things that have happened, but have we not evolved as a people? Are we not trying to teach our children to do better and learn from past mistakes?
Absolutely.
Because that's what I want for my children. I want my children to live in a world where there's a bit more peace and love, balance, and everyone teaches each other stuff, you know?
Really,
and I get some people might say, well, that's not realistic. That's not realistic because you don't want it to be realistic. That's not realistic because you're comfortable being in a negative space and being a negative person and a little bit ignorant because you don't know something or you don't know about a specific race or culture or religion. Educate yourself instead of being ignorant. It's very easy to educate yourself. Google. We have smartphones, but a lot of dumb people.
Message.
We literally live in a society of smartphones and dumb people because anything you want to know, you can Google it. I went to a Muslim funeral and I Googled what is the traditions of a Muslim funeral. I'm not Muslim, but you can still respect someone else's religion or culture. You can. The people that are not doing it, it's because they don't want to. They want to live in their own bubble of a fantasy world. But the world doesn't exist like that. We were all put here for a reason. And none of us are better than anybody. We're all on the same level. When we go to meet our maker, he's not going to be like, oh, I'm going to give you special privileges because you are melanated. Or I'm going to give you special privileges because you are Caucasian. It's not going to work like that. He's going to see the seeds that you planted in your heart. He's not going to worry about any of that stuff. Literally. But I don't think everyone thinks on that level, you know.
No, they don't.
It's scary, literally, because I think when I'm not here, I worry what will happen with my children, and I think every parent needs to think about that. That's one of my biggest things that I think about. Oh my God, what kind of world would I be leaving my children in? Because you can see how black some people's hearts are. It ain't good. It's not good, man. I can't get with it.
Let me ask you a question. Hey. Yes. All right. So let me ask you a question because I agree with everything that you said. And everything that you said is beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah.
And, but what I will say is you have children of color, right?
Yes.
With all that you said, like I said, I agree. And I think, I can't even say I think most people on the planet, especially people of color, would like to live on a planet where they're respected and they're treated equal.
100%.
Do you think that teaching your kids the way that you're teaching them, which is a good thing, I'm not saying what you're doing is bad and you shouldn't teach them that, I would never say that.
Yeah.
But do you have faith that if you were to leave the planet, God forbid you don't until, later days, but if you were to leave the planet, do you think the people of the planet would respect your children being known that they're children of color? Do you think they'll deal with them how you deal with other people?
And you know what? I've met people from different races that do.
Yeah, definitely. There's good people. There's good people everywhere. I'm not disputing that. Not to shut you down. Like, I think there's some good, when you get good people, you know, and you're in good neighborhoods where there's still like a community element where people just naturally work together.
Yeah.
Yeah, that happens, isn't it? But I'm just saying, like, say for instance, your child wanted to work in some industry that was an industry that not many black people go in, and they got their degree in that, and they're like, I'm going in that. Would you have the faith to say that the people in that industry are going to treat your child with respect, even though they're a child of color?
I think you will get some people who will be ignorant. I think you can get that in a lot of places. But based off of what I've planted in my child, I feel like they will have no choice but to respect my child because of the standard that I have set. They can walk into any room because God said they're meant to be there. So if you're an enemy of progress, you ain't gonna last, literally. Because my child, my oldest child, doesn't live in Southeast London. She lives outside of London in a predominantly Caucasian area.
Right.
And they treat her with the most respect. She's so happy there because she's studying to be a lawyer.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Good food.
So, and she has experienced some snootiness from like students. There was a Caucasian boy who was very shocked at her results that she got. But she didn't feel no way because she was like, baby, I'm supposed to be in the room. How do you think I got here? It's because of my brains, baby. Not just because of my looks, you know? So we didn't really experience that. I'll be real. And my daughter is currently dating a Caucasian boy. And our families get on so well.
Right.
They come to my house, eat my food. I go to their house. And we've had no issues. And they live in Southeast London, which is considered the ghetto, with us.
Is that where she met him?
Nice, man.
Yeah.
But he's sensible. He's a sensible boy. He's educated himself on black culture and our background.
Because he's from Southeast London, isn't it? He has to.
You know, exactly. Everyone mixes down here. We're not ignorant like that. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, both my best friends who are females are mixed race. So I can't be ignorant and just dismiss their Caucasian side.
No, you can't do that.
That's, to me, that's breezy.
Yeah, you can't do that. You can't do that. But I'm just saying that there's some people, white people, that don't come from the Southeast Londons. And even if they do come from areas that are mixed. All right. Yeah. Let me just put it in a nutshell, for instance, yeah? Let me use what's going on now with the whole rioting across the UK, as an example. I've had people come and tell me stuff like black people, and I'm going to say it frank, black people that I know that date white women have come to me, black men especially, and they said to me, racism doesn't exist, and I'm like, you're talking nonsense, you know what I mean? And they're like, it does. And I'm like, it exists a lot, but it's covert as opposed to overt when we was growing up in the 80s and 90s. And obviously our parents and stuff would have seen it before in the 70s and the 60s, And this situation, for me, that's popped up now, is like, fucking hell. Look how many of them there is all over the place. Moving mad on this racist tip.
Hidden in plain sight.
Yeah. These are people, there cannot be so much white people that's come out and speaking from the same hymn sheet. And none of these people don't work with people of color, live in areas of people of color. These are people that work around people and they've somewhat hidden or suppressed their racism to an extent where they just get by it and get on. But now this situation has occurred that sparked the flame. They're all like, fuck suppressing my thing now. I'm letting it out. And we're seeing scores of them now go for anything that's got a certain skin shade that's moving. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
So as much as I do agree with your sentiment, yeah, and I too, because I've got loads of brethren too. Some people say to me, "You sure you got?" I've got loads of brethren too. I'm from South East London. I used to play football. I got no bare white boy brethren and mixed race brethren, and we all grew up together and all that kind of stuff, all that good stuff, and we all respected each other's cultures and.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
House.
Yeah, man. We used to laugh at the white brethren when their mum would shout out, "Come in for your tea," and all that, and tease them and stuff like that. And then like when our mums called us and was like, "Come in for your dinner," and then the white boys would laugh at us, and you know what I mean? It was all that sort of, but it was a respect thing, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, but at the same time, even though I grew up on an estate with those boys, there was one or two on there that was racist, not a lot. But you see, like once I spread my wings and come off the estate and started going to different areas and coming across different white people, I saw the overt and then I saw it slow down over decades and go into the covert. You know what I'm saying? And for me, even though I love the fact that my kids go to school and they got friends from different backgrounds and whatever not, I always teach them as well, you must remember yourself though, you know? You know what I mean? Yeah, respect others, but remember yourself, you know? You know what I mean? Because there's nothing, I think where we live in now, a lot of people, especially this generation, fall into having a lot of respect for other people's culture, but none of self.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? You have to
have respect for self first before you have respect for others.
And every other culture has respect for self first. When it's not black, the Asian man has respect for self first. Then they mix. The white man has respect for self first. Then they mix. You get me? We're the only people I would say that we respect enough people's thing rather than our own. And that's why our culture is dying out. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
I don't play that, you know.
Yeah, well, you. I know you uphold your thing, but if you look at the majority of young people now, they're not going to carry on certain things that we grew up seeing as black youths. It's going to be wiped. And just because you've got a white partner, it don't mean that you can't exercise certain things in your culture. You know what I mean? Like the traditional West Indian barbecue or link up and the music playing, and then you embrace yours and you embrace theirs, or both is intertwined. You'll find that these youngsters now, they're just fully going on the other side.
Yeah. And the thing is, you don't need to deny yourself in order to embrace others. You should love yourself. Love yourself, share your culture. Don't deny it. Don't ever deny it. I never deny my blackness. I'm blacker than it gets, literally. Like, when my son-in-law comes, he knows that I will cuss. When you're coming out of the yard, you never say hello. You have to say hello. It's 100%. A part of the culture, you know? We shared food. He knows certain things. Do you know what I mean? Like, we educate each other, because there may be some assumptions that you might make, and that's just an assumption. You need to learn, you know, and I teach him a lot about our culture and our history and stuff, because how else are people going to get rid of certain thought processes if we don't? And you're right, we should be proud of our culture. Like I've taught my kids, don't forget, go to the market. My daughter knows how to go to the market, get her meat, get her seasoning. She sends her boyfriend. What do you mean? She sends her boyfriend to the market. Even he knows how to go to the market. Because we've got that. That's our black culture, right? We cook up food and he loves it here. He's like, yeah, man, the way that you cook every day in your house is different from my house. And I'm like, stop it, you know? Because it's a part of our culture and you have to be proud of your culture. But that doesn't mean you have to hate anyone else's. And that's what I'm definitely teaching my children. Know your culture, know your history, know thyself, respect thyself, and then you emulate that. You know?
I don't say hate, but what I do say is be aware. You get me? And the reason why I say be aware is because you got a son, right?
No, I got all girls.
Right. That's where you're fortunate. If you had a son, you'd have a different experience. when they become teenagers, because they're going to be judged because they're big, they're black, they're deemed as aggressive, they're deemed as violent. So a lot of people in society are going to deal with them a certain way. It could just be the tiniest thing when you have a son, like your son could be walking around your local neighborhood or something, a little bit further from your yard where a couple blocks down people don't know who you are. And he's sitting outside on his phone on one of the people them's wall. And because they see him there, they're threatened. So they call the police on him, make a wrong judgment, call the police on him, or open the door and become aggressive. What are you doing out here? Do you get what I'm saying? Things are different with boys. Do you get what I'm saying? So for me, although like I agree with everything that you're saying, and listen, I can't express it enough how much I would love for the world to be a smooth, simple, everyone respect each other place. But the reality is, after seeing these racists, even before that, I already knew they were about. I was like, where are they, blood? You know what I mean? But after seeing all of these that come out and what they're doing, it's reminded me that nothing ain't changed much, Verbz, from when you was a youth, blood. You know what I mean? It's just held down. Nothing ain't changed much. There's still a bag of them out there that ain't in it, bruv. You get me? And you have to make sure. I would never teach my child to hate someone else. Nah. But what I would say is, be very mindful when you're around these people. Some of them have a culture, and this is the reality. I'm not gonna lie to you, Divine. Some of them have a culture where they don't like you, blood. Some of them have a culture where even in their country today, dark-skinned man are in cages, or dark-skinned man are sweeping their mansion. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? So I have to show my youth, if you're part with different people and you see any signs of disrespect towards your race, you're going to have to stand up for yourself, but you're also going to have to say to yourself, I'm not saying fighting necessarily, you don't fight unless it's necessary, but you say, what did you mean by that? You know what I mean? And if it gets to a point where it's like, like, what they said was mad disrespectful, you're going to have to make a decision to cut them off, because if they showed you that in plain sight, and you've asked them to explain what they meant by that, and now there's some, because you know how it is, when you hear somebody drop a indirect racist bar and you say, give me some clarity on what you meant by that, bruv. They're going to give you an excuse, but you know that it hurt you when they said it initially. Now what they say has to wipe out the hurt. But if they give you an excuse that don't wipe out the hurt fully, you know they're chatting shit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I'll tell my youth, you have to make a decision. You have to allow them. You know what I mean?
It's a simple error or lack of knowledge.
Yeah.
And you'll know if it's coming from that place. You will know.
Yeah. Because some people get comfortable and then they're around you, they can play the game, be around college mates, rare. Then when they get comfortable, they slip out a funny bar.
Yeah, definitely. I can honestly say, thankfully, and maybe because I'm a woman, I haven't experienced racism from Caucasian people. I've actually experienced it more from Asian.
Message.
Wow, for real.
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Literally. Yeah.
Wow. That's crazy.
It's interesting. You get different cultures that can be a bit ignorant, or I've experienced it from what other religion? No background, should I say? Yeah, that's mainly it, to be honest. I don't really.
Why do you think Asian women do that have kind of dished out racism towards you, whether it's subtle or is it outright say it certain things, or is it just their mannerisms and behavior?
You just know their mannerism and behavior. You just know.
Right.
I think it's programming. People lack knowledge and education, literally, because, like I said, the world is so big now, and if you really want to learn something, you just got to go on your smartphone and not be a dumb person. Like. Literally, or ask questions, have a conversation with someone who's not like you, who's different, and see what you might learn Like, for instance, there was one nail shop I used to go to years ago, and me and the manager of the nail shop started talking, and she told me like she was a teacher and everything back home, and you know, and we wouldn't know that if we don't talk and have conversations.
Yeah.
We're just making pure assumptions.
Yeah.
You know, but I do think there's a lot of programming that has been pushed out there to create the division. Because
racism is a form of, what do you mean, the thing what's going on now or in general?
Yeah. Like now, specifically.
Yeah.
It's the media.
Yeah. You know, because look, they want to bring in martial law, I'll be real, and we as a people need to get with it real quick before we slip up and fuck around and find out.
100%.
I'm saying, any excuse to bring in martial law, they will do it. And people fighting and inciting violence and all of that stuff and saying it's because of innocent children being murdered. Nah, don't lie on those innocent children. You know, because if that was the case when that young black boy got killed, you would have been doing the same thing. Why didn't we riot then?
Yeah, when Lucy Letby killed all those babies and she was a nurse.
Exactly. Why? You know? That's just an excuse. And because you've been programmed like the dummy that you are, that's why you're doing what you're doing. But you're playing right into the hands of the government who want to bring in martial law, and then everyone's going to be effed. Literally. Mm-hmm. That's the truth. Putting it bluntly, everyone's going to be freaked right up the arse.
That's real.
Well,
and quite frankly, I don't need no martial law because I want to be able to go to the shop when I want to go to the shop.
You will, man. You just have to do it on limited times.
I want to be free. You understand? I don't want to be caged in. So, and I don't want that for my children. And I don't think any other human being should have to live like that. You know? So.
Yeah, everything you're saying, you're right still on this thing, like.
But I understand it's a different experience. Excuse me for cutting you.
Go on.
It's a different experience, obviously, as a black man.
Yeah.
I acknowledge that, definitely. That's why we need to talk about these stuff. And then we can just air it out. I feel like we see things like that. I'm a person, if I see anything unjust, I'm going to talk on it. With my chest.
100.
And I don't give a damn. Because wrong is wrong and right is right. 100. And I was here to stand and talk. I'm here to stand and talk against those things. Literally. Wherever I go, if I see something like that, I'm going to be the one saying, nah. That's not cool still.
Well, this is the thing. I know what it is for me. I can't put my kids in. As much as I agree with everything you're saying, I would love, if I saw that place miraculously happen where everybody loved and respected everybody, and I could just say, yo, oh shit. And I could just say, oh, Verbz, like, you don't need to be wary.
Yeah.
Just chill.
We do. It'd be ignorant.
I'd be happy to do that. You know how exhausting this motherfucking shit is, having to work out if people respect people because of skin color, blood.
Yeah.
It's a mazza. Like, I've said it in an episode before with Genius. And then if you've seen it, when I was younger, I lived in South London, round the corner from Bermondsey, Millwall Football Club. You hear me? My aunties used to live in the area near me. Her block got burnt down. They moved her to Bermondsey. My mum used to say to me and my brother, when I was about 10 and my brother was like 8. And mum used to say, go down there and go bring your auntie groceries because the shop closed. Remember them time there Sunday shop closed? Shop closed. Don't bring her grocery. Yeah, you hear me? And we go down there and imagine primary school age, 10 and 8, 2-2's transit van skid up. 7, 8 man jumping out, 30s, 40s, white man, Millwall fan, National Front, jumping out, big axe, big chain, Stanley knife, stick, this, that. Come here, you fucking coons, guys. And I have to grab my brother and run, hide underneath parked car, While my brother a ball and I got my hand over his mouth, like, just to keep him quiet. I see the boots running past the car and I got to hold him quiet. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, no one taught me that. The very first time that happened to me, we walked,
crazy, man.
Going to school, we bust the corner to walk through the estate, and there was like 50 of them just there, blood. And they turned around and they saw us. This was going primary school, blood. These men were in their 20s and 30s again. They saw us. Get the coons! Man had to run, blood. Survival. Yeah. So I learned to survive. So all that shit has given me fucking PTSD and shit. You know what I mean?
Most
but
definitely.
Like, to me, it's like, that was some vulnerable times. It gave me PTSD to the point where my mum programmed me and was like, you need to start defending yourself when I was older. And me and my brother and couple man that went through that shit around my area started going back down them sides and mashing them man there up. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Proper, regular, like clockwork. I've had bare run-ins with the NF. You know what I mean? But like, I can't have my youth now live in a time where everything seems better, but in my mind, there's still racists out there pretending that they're not racist.
Yeah.
I don't want my children to be vulnerable like I was vulnerable. I don't want them to go through. Huh?
These kids are not.
Yeah, I don't want them to go through what I went through. I know what racism feels like. My kids ain't felt racism yet. They've heard
not
little
to
things.
The degree that we.
Yeah, but they ain't get it. But you see now what's going on?
Now.
Yeah, they do. But you can get shocked.
All of them do it.
Yeah. No, that's true. But you know what the difference is? You gotta remember, Divine, yeah? You see, when we was growing up, and I know people say this a lot, but you see, when we was growing up, we didn't have the distractions of phones, and when we had games consoles, we weren't sitting on them throughout the whole day and not socializing. Our main thing was to socialize. We'd get up on a weekend. Mum, can I go outside? Yeah. And we'd go outside. Even if it was just you one, walk across the park, you see some kids that you don't even know. Can I play with you? And you all start playing and ramping. You make new friends every time. These youths, I'm not saying that they haven't got the capability, but it's not natural to them like that. So certain situations that come, I feel socially, they're going to be at a little bit of a disadvantage because they don't socialize to the levels that we do. Also, remember, they've also had the negative impact of being under lockdown. That's impacted them socially as well. You know what I'm saying? Which is why you got a lot of youths now suffering from anxiety and shit.
Yeah, it's true.
Do you know what I'm saying?
My daughter, my kids are very aware of what's going on in the world because I talk to them. I don't sugarcoat stuff to them. But what I do teach them is be a good person. If you see something is not right, nip that shit and call it out. Because find your voice. Because that's what they want to block, your voice. But you need to activate that throat chakra. Call out that shit when you see that it's wrong. It don't matter if you're the only one calling it out. Call it out. Don't sit there and condone what people are doing. Don't do that. Because then it makes you complicit. You see me? If I see something and it ain't good, I don't business if I'm the only one in the room. I'm going to call it out because it's wrong. And more people need to do that. Stop trying to push things under the rug or act like you didn't notice it. Call it out. And that's what I think a lot of people who are not black and brown, as people call it, should do. If you are not complicit with it, when you see it, call it out. Don't be ignorant. Educate yourself on the history of why even some black people might feel the way that they feel about certain things. Educate yourself on the history of even other cultures who have been suppressed. I have a background in races who have been literally suppressed as well. Educate yourself. Don't be ignorant. And when you see something that ain't right, call it out.
Yeah.
Literally. That's what I teach my kids. I teach them don't be ignorant. And the thing is, a lot of these kids do it because I think there was a situation where my daughter said to me that there was a teacher who tried to be funny like that, and the whole class got on her. And the class was mixed. They were having it. They all stuck together and rinsed the teacher. And I didn't wrong them for it.
I believe they'd do that, definitely. Yeah, I mean, they know their rights like that now, innit?
Yeah. Yeah, because they're all mixed together, innit? They don't want to hear about they can't go to their brethren's house, you know, Abby Toiler, or they don't want to hear that. They want to go to their brethren's house and sit down and eat jerk chicken and rice, or stew and pounded jam. They want to do that. There's some white kids out there that actively want to mix with other kids from different races. They're not into that. They call their parents out. If you're racist, they're going to call you out even as their parent. I've seen it with my own two eyes.
There is some still, don't get me wrong, you are right, but there's also some that are a bit dodgy. I'm not even going to wrong with this opinion. That are a bit dodgy. Like, for instance, like, right, when I was growing up, I had no clue at all about interracial relationships, black and white. I know interracial relationships could be anything, but from my perspective, growing up, black person with a white person, I had no clue about it. I knew people was with each other, but I think because maybe I was a bit late when it comes to the dating game, I didn't realize there could be certain dynamics. I just assumed that when a black man or a black woman is with a white person, it's just normal, it's hunky-dory, they're cool. Yeah, and I'm not saying that ain't the case, and there ain't examples of that. However, I must say, there was an alarming rate of brethren that I know, and family members, that I'm not going to lie, I'm going to say straight. When they were with white partners and they catch up in an argument, Ramadan, I heard racial abuse. I'm not even going to lie, coming from the white person when they were mad. And I was like, the first time I heard it, I was stunned. I couldn't believe it. Yeah. I was like, what's this? I even went to the woman. What are you doing? You just pissed me off. It's not like that, you know. I said, nah, blood. You can't do that. And the whole of their 4 kids was in the room next door and can hear it. And they was just sitting there playing like it's normal. Yeah. And then I went to another brethren's yard and I heard the next white partner do it. Then the next, and I was like, blood, is this normal, bruv? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is mad.
Man. Not good.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, nah.
This is mad. And then also you got the dynamic of, and I'm not trying to put people off, but this is just me. This is I'm going to tell you how I see things. Yeah. The dynamic of somebody from one race meets another person from another race. So let's just say a black man meets a white woman. He's going to be with her. Goes to meet the parents. Both parents are cool. Yeah?
Yeah.
Goes to meet the grandparents. Racism.
Yeah. You can't.
Don't like him. Then when you have kids, because I got a brethren from Wales, mixed race guy. Bruv, I'm not gonna lie. He's a mental wreck. You hear me? Because of how he grew up. He grew up with white brothers and sisters. He's the one mixed race one. Yeah. When they were growing up, when the family was looking after him, he was always treated like the ugly duckling. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? He was the one that was always left in the corner to play by himself. And he's suffering for it as a big man. I can see he's damaged from it. You know what I mean?
I've spoken to certain friends of mine who are mixed race who have also said they experienced that as well, where their mum got casted out because she was white and she went with a black man, you know, and they had to filter that out of the family because it wasn't good.
Yeah.
And they felt also like they were also shunned by their black side too. So they felt like they kind of never had anywhere to go.
Yeah.
And that's not cool, man. No.
It's mad. It can get real techie.
Yeah, it's not good. I prepped my daughter and her partner, because I was like, you're going to meet some ugly people in the world that are not going to like the fact that you guys are together. I kept it a buck with them, you know, but as long as you lot understand certain things, then just cool. You understand? And your family's good. Like, literally, we've met all the family, even up to the grandma. And we're cool. The grandma orders food for me every week. You know?
That's good.
So
It's good to hear smooth sailing still.
Yeah, because I know that doesn't always work. It doesn't always work like that. You know, even with me, like, I've even had my own people say negative things when I dated an African.
Yeah, that could happen still. That's mad.
I had to nip that in the bud because you see me, I don't do ignorance. I don't do ignorance. You can't tell me about I don't like Africans or I don't.
Yeah, that's mad.
To me, you're poking the bear. You want me to go off. Because if that's the case, don't touch my youth. Do not touch my kids. Straight up. Because I'm not going to just dismiss their African side. No, that's wrong. I even make African dishes so that they know about that side of the culture as much as I possibly could teach them.
Close to their roots, isn't it?
Exactly. You know, it blows my mind when I meet ignorant people, honestly.
It's mad.
You know?
But
I do think you have to educate your children. And unfortunately, as Black people, we do have to educate our children extra on certain things.
You have to, yeah.
You know, and it's sad, you know?
You have
and I think it was different when we was growing up as well, because even in our homes, we were told straight, don't bring home no white boy. Don't bring home this or that. It happened. That's the truth.
Yeah.
You know? But I've tried to not adapt that mentality with my kids because I feel like it feeds into the negative narrative. I think for me, love who you want to love.
Yeah.
But just know that it is that and you're accepted. You understand? But I'm not going to tell my kids, don't bring home no white boy, don't bring home no Asian. I'm not even going to go there. I'm sorry, I can't feed that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Based off of all the people I have around me that I love, I can't feed that narrative.
Yeah, 100%.
You know?
100%. And that's good that you know what I mean, that you think like that. That's good, man, because that's the way it's supposed to be, innit? Yeah, I mean.
Especially because also we work in certain fields. We're not just dealing with one race. Like, I've worked in the NHS. I can't have an ignorant stance like that, I think, as an intelligent person. Yeah, because you do get that unintelligent people who still move a certain way. They're in certain government jobs or doing certain positions and they ain't got clean hearts. That's what I put it down to. You ain't got a clean heart. I couldn't personally work in the NHS, but treat every other race different to how I treat Black people when they come in. Then I shouldn't be in the job.
Yeah.
Straight up. If I'm not going to treat everybody equally, I have no business being in that position.
100%, because it means that your level of care is going to differ.
And you know what I'm saying? So that means what? If a Black child comes in, I'm going to make sure that child gets an appointment. But then if a white child comes in or an Asian child comes in and they're sick, I'm not going to prioritize them. I'm like, come on, think about it. It's a slippery slope when you're so ignorant like that.
Yeah, for real.
You know?
It's true. Genius, you're not talking, man. What are you saying?
With everything that's going on, I just think that, we're at a time now where I think arrest was pending, and sadly, it's what it is, isn't it? There's not really. I think we're at a point where it's just things are too far now. I mean, we've got the knife crime. You know, we're divided as a people. You got the situation of Tommy Robertson. He's not really accepting any accountability. The government are using the media to push, obviously, the agenda. So it's just, I just feel that, something's definitely coming. I feel that another lockdown is pending. You know, it'll be interesting to see how this turns out, because, you know, they've put, anytime the media highlights something like the way they do it, there's always something that's pending. And I reckon they'll bring in new laws. And obviously, I remember the last time when the COVID situation happened, they were trying to bring in a law where you weren't allowed to protest or something like that. If you protested, you'll be arrested. Something along those lines, or you'll be against the law. But yeah, there's a lot of fear-mongering.
That was more aimed at black people indirectly, you know that.
We know how it is, isn't it? It is what it is.
Freedom of speech. So.
Oh, that's long. Yeah, that's long gone. That's long gone.
I ain't letting no one mute me, you know. I can't lie. I'm a bit rebellious like that still.
Where they're gonna mute us is gonna be social media first.
Yeah, literally.
That's what they done during. That's what they done during COVID, isn't it? They're gonna control it, man, so that when you say certain things and that, it's just gonna get taken off quick. You know what I mean? Because
I've been trying to repost stuff and they're not letting me repost nothing.
You see, and they keep
pissing me off. And the thing is, it's not just you guys, because I follow a Caucasian girl who's proper against this stuff too. And when I try and share stuff, I'm like, Instagram's really starting to get on my nerves. Like, censoring stuff, and it's actually really irritating me a lot.
Yeah, they wanted to go into this direction, innit? That's the thing. And, you know.
That's why everyone needs to be smart. Stop being so reactive. Stop feeding into the narrative.
100%.
Literally.
100%. It's mad. It's mad. Everything seems to be correlating, man. Like, obviously you got this going on and, you know, they keep on mentioning social media being a part to play in the situation rather than saying that it's mainstream media as well. You get me? So, you know, they're going to home in on that. Yeah. Obviously, recently we've had the whole 15-minute city shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just think everything seems like it's falling into place. If they do decide, we're going to stop people from talking freely on social media, we're going to bring in some kind of new lockdown, we're going to bring in facial recognition, we're going to bring in some kind of chip or ID card that is mandatory. You're going to have to carry it everywhere. And then we're going to bring in 15-minute cities. So wherever you drive, if you drive out of your 15-minute range, you'll be fined a big money. So you get used to just being secluded in your your area. Everything seems like it's falling into place and everyone's like running around and just falling for it.
You can find me. That don't mean you don't get the money.
Yeah, I mean.
That's what I'm going to say. And this is where people need to start standing up. I'm not being funny. Are you going to just let these idiots that run the government strip us of our freedom? Because I'm not being funny. I'm not a person that sits down and takes stuff like that. I'm very, very rebellious. Literally.
Remember, people are sheep, you know? People are sheep, you know. Remember that you're saying that, and I agree with you, and I'm sure Genius probably agrees too. But remember, you know, the government fooled people before when they were doing the whole Brexit thing, and they stepped back and was like, "No, let's let the people decide. You vote, yeah." And people voted Brexit, and then they ended up getting in the cost of living crisis, blood, and everyone's bawling, "Boy, everything's expensive."
You know how many people
blood.
Do not vote out. We all need each other. This is going to screw us in the ass. Sorry for the terminology, but I told people that. Because what I saw was that people were voting out of it purely out of ignorance. We don't need it. And you'd be surprised. It was a lot of black people who voted.
Yeah.
A lot. I was like...
Yeah, there was.
I was like, how are you guys so ignorant? How? I don't understand. And I'm not even too into the politics and all of that. But I was like, come on, pick sense from nonsense, man. Like, what the hell? Was you at the back of the line when common sense was being given out? Now you can hardly find things. And when you do find it, it's hella expensive. Why? Because we voted out of Brexit and everybody wanted to be free. Did you get freedom? Did you? Are you free now or are you struggling to buy food?
There you go.
Man.
This is it. Yeah. And now they're doing it to us again. Like they're stirring up this shit and stepping back and we're running into it and we know there's going to be a consequence to this too. You know what I mean? And like, as much as I'm a man, like, I see what's going on. And it's a little concerning, but this ain't nothing new to me because I come from an era where, like I said, where I've battled with these men before when I had to, and
Yeah.
you know what I mean? I ain't saying I was foolish enough to go to a big protest when they're all there by the thousands and come on, I'm not gonna do that. But I'm saying when I've had individual scraps with me and my brethren versus a few of them, man's turned them over. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not really bothered by them. However, like, I wouldn't go to the protest. But at the same time, even if you're somebody that's not involved in this and you don't want to get involved, you could find yourself in a situation where you could be facing the possibility of being attacked by an individual or a small group of idiots. And you're gonna have to fight to defend yourself. You know what I'm saying? So as much as they've set the thing a certain way where the masses will go out and go and do the stupidness like the EDO doing what they were doing, and then the few Muslims in Birmingham that went in and bloody turned over pubs and all that madness, which is unnecessary. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like we're now going to get these little dribs and drabs of situations that's going to add to it as well. You're going to have to defend yourself. So it's almost like you're damned if you do and you're damned if you fucking don't, blood. You know what I'm saying? The way they've set this thing. You know what I mean?
There's a documentary right now on Channel 4 about, it's called Defiance, fighting against the far rights.
Right.
On Channel 4.
Is it?
Yeah. It's a 3-part. I just got on the second part, but I had to cut it to come and do the podcast. But watch it.
Was it about the West Indians and that?
Nah, it's about how the Bangladeshi, Pakistanis, when they came to like that area, was it Southall, them areas?
Yeah.
They started fighting back because of it.
Yeah.
Literally, because a young man got murdered and stabbed in the neck. Literally, because they didn't want them there. Like, but it's an interesting documentary when you watch it. I found it extremely interesting to see it from a different perspective.
It's a fantastic time to put that documentary on now, though, isn't it?
You think it's by design?
Yeah, I mean, of course.
How I looked at it, I was like, I hope this also educates a lot of Asian people, though, also, because they themselves have also, some of them have also been racist. They don't even believe they're black.
Message. Yeah.
Oh, I think I've seen that.
And also shun black people. So I was like, see, from whatever angle you look at it, for me as a decent human being, it's wrong.
And they got black people as slaves today, like I said.
Yeah. And it was interesting because in the documentary as well, it actually showed that there were white people, black people, and Asian people that all grouped together to stop the far rights from doing what they were doing.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
You saw it in the crowds, and I was like, wow. Literally.
But you're kind of seeing that today, you know, because there's some white people out there that's standing up against them as well.
Yeah, I've got a couple of people who follow me on Instagram and they tell them straight, allow it. Like, what are you doing? Like, stop it. You know, so it's just the ignorant-minded ones that, like I said, need to educate yourself. If you don't really know about a particular race or religion, you can very much, easily so, go on your smartphone and educate yourself. You can.
Some people are not interested, though.
You know?
That's the thing.
Yeah. They don't want to stay ignorant.
Yeah, well, the ignorant world you breed today will be the ignorant world that your child will have to live in tomorrow. So think about that straight.
Yeah.
That's true. But I guess for them, they feel like, well, they're the majority of the people in the country, so they can always mix amongst themselves and stuff like that. The problem is when their daughter or their son, well, mainly their daughters, decide to get with somebody of colour.
But are they, though?
I don't believe it, but that's what stats keep saying, isn't it? Black people and ethnic minority people take up something like, is it 4 or 5% or something they keep saying, but I'm like, my eyes don't see that, blood.
Well, we know to take that with a pinch of salt because even the world map is a lie. Okay, because Africa in itself is bigger than the whole of Europe, but they show us it in a small quantity to make it's programming.
100%. Have you seen? Let me hit you with this. I don't know if you've seen it. Have you seen A Bug's Life? The old cartoon. Yeah.
The cartoon. I probably a long time ago, but I don't remember it.
There's a scene in there that I watched, and it just hit me spiritually like, yo, there's a bigger meaning to this. And it's come out as a meme now. And it's basically, you know, when the grasshoppers was badding up the ants and telling them they need to collect all the food by the time the last leaf falls.
Yeah.
Right. So that clumsy ant flick knocks the leaf that's carrying all the food in it. Because all the ants go in the colony and they leave the leaf outside with all the food on it for the grasshoppers. And they hear the grasshoppers land, but the flick licks the leaf and it drops and all the food goes in the water. You know what I mean? So they're coming out and they're like, "Rah, where's the food?" And then they bust into the ants' colony and start badding them up. You know what I mean? So when they're badding up the ants now, one ant stands up to them. And then the leader, I forgot what his name is, with the grasshopper with the scar in his eye, boxes the ant. And then one of his colleagues is looking at his brethren, his crew members looking at him like, "Rah, what you do that for?" And he's basically saying, "Are you crazy? These ants outnumber us 1,000 to 1. If we let one of them stand up against us and they all have that belief, basically we'll be in trouble." So he's basically saying, we're mind gaming them, bro. We're to bad them up so they don't realize that they outnumber us by enough. And that's that philosophy where they keep saying that we're only 5% and even throwing in the word ethnic minority to me is mind control.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, wow.
Yeah, it is mind control. Everything they've pushed out there, even the history is a lie. It's programming to always make people believe, especially that there's a hierarchy and black people are at the bottom of it. Because even if you notice, even under Asians, we're under them. Even Indian people, some certain Indians will see you as beneath them, you know?
Yeah, definitely.
And it's like they've set that hierarchy a certain way, but I can't lie. I just think it's stupid. I don't conform to that. I'll be real. I don't.
Wow.
It's crazy. You know?
It's mad.
And I just think, like we're saying to the people, don't be ignorant, literally, because the ignorance you incite today will be what your children will have to deal with tomorrow.
Very true.
Very true.
Mm-hmm. People be calm. Don't move rash, because there will be consequences, not only for you, but for your family. And some bears, when you poke them, they bite back.
It's true.
They bite back, because I'm not a turn the other cheek person, neither. If you box me, I can box you twice.
100%.
Straight up, like, you know, and if I do allow you, it's because I've allowed you.
We don't want to be getting boxed with them nails, mate. I tell you that much. Like you've been fighting with a bear when you get boxed with them nails there.
So we don't want to be doing that. Like, let's be peaceful. It's so much nicer to be peaceful.
100%.
Man. So people think. That's all I want people to do. Think when they see this podcast. If you're unsure, educate yourself first. You understand?
Definitely.
Don't move ignorant. And also understand where people who are being oppressed are coming from. Don't just shimmer it. Acknowledge it. That's the first point. Acknowledgement. You understand?
Especially when you come from oppression yourself.
Yeah. And think. Be grateful that the people who actually have been oppressed don't want to incite violence back. They actually try to live peacefully with you. Take the card. Take the win. Take the win. Because if we started moving breezy, it's just going to be stupid. Because there are many, many black people out there. We're not in small numbers. We're in large numbers. Don't get it twisted. You know, we are in large numbers, and we're very strong.
With
no matter how society wants to make it out that we're weak, we're not weak.
No.
We're not. We just choose not to incite violence back. That's the difference. It's not because we can't. Don't ever get it twisted. You know, don't think a peaceful person can't switch, because they can. You know, but we want better, hence why we try not to go down that avenue. You know, but you can't force people's hands, because when you start forcing people's hands, people have a right to defend themselves. They do. But that's not the road you want to go down, because then innocent people start getting hurt. Children start getting hurt. Elderly people get hurt. Then where does it stop?
That's real.
I was gonna go.
No, I'm done, because I've been talking too much.
I was gonna say, you know, that there's a message going out there that people, you know, need to stay at home. And for me, that, you know, I've been seeing a few of those messages, you know, surfacing, and obviously I get it. That's obviously from a safety point of view, but at the same time, it's another way of psychologically conditioning someone to get used to lockdown conditions. Because now the government will use this as a perfect way to say, oh, you know, you don't want, you know, fear of being attacked. Because I look at it, when you put out fear out there, because remember, you know, the 3 stages, you know, create the problem, watch the reaction, and then provide a solution. And fear is a very powerful weapon when used in a situation like this. Does that mean, oh, you know, there's racist mobs out there, shops are being burned, then you put it out there that the police are, you know, getting attacked, policeman, broken arm, broken leg. So now the majority of people that are fearful now, I'm not coming out of house, I'm not going to work. And now you have the perfect excuse to now, you know, bring in a lockdown measure, always for your own safety. You know, we don't want anyone getting hurt. And then now, while you've done that, you then now bring up new laws to state, you know what, in event of anything like this happening, the government have the right to tell you to stay indoors for your own safety. So it'll be interesting to see what happens from this situation and how long the media are going to allow this to play out. Because you know, what I did realize is that there's been a few scenarios. I think Verbz did a video with Jimmy Savile and someone else, and you know, throughout the years, time and time again, a lot of these people did atrocities that were just anything involving murdering kids, wrong period. Doesn't matter the color, the race, really, like, it's wrong period. But when you have someone that that's, you know, known globally, that's, you know, managed to get away with doing these things. And I definitely believe there's people that were fully aware that they were doing all these things. And there was no uproar from the public. There was not one sort of, you know, cry or anything. But then,
there were large household names, isn't it?
It's true. And they
brought in money. Don't forget that bit.
Oh, yeah. And they were quite close to the royals. As well. You know, so, you know, I noticed the same thing happened with Bill Crosby, you know, once again. And, you know, and I'm not really one to really draw the race card, to be quite honest with you. I don't like doing that. But when it is what it is, you know, this man was due to, you know, own, you know, one of the televisions. I can't remember, something to do with black television. And then all of a sudden now, all these women came forward and brought forth this allegation about rape. Yeah. You know, and I was like, wow. Then, you know what I mean?
You know, he was the richest man in America at one point as well.
Oh, is it? Yeah. I didn't know that. No, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Maybe it's off on the Crosby show, probably, yeah? Yeah. And
it's crazy.
You know, for me, I just feel that as a people now, this is a time where we need to unify together. You see, and this is what makes it worse, because I believe that even with all this knife crime that's going on, and a lot of our young kings are dying, we're so divided now. So when now a time like this comes, and then we're trying to stand up for ourselves or try and fight back, we're too divided. So it's kind of like the government knew. That's why you find that a lot of these knife crimes, it just goes unsolved. They don't put in measures or things in place to stop these things from happening, because the bigger agenda is already planned way ahead. So now when you have stuff like this that's taking place, and racist groups coming together, and you probably have a few people amongst our own that will want to stand up. But the thing is, we're so divided that now we're divided against ourselves. Then you got the racist people. So it's crazy. How do you survive when we're not? Do you know what I mean? We're fighting against each other, man, and it's sad.
Yeah,
it's so sad. So I mean, like, it's so for me.
That's why I respect. Sorry to cut you. People like Gangs United, Street Fathers.
Okay,
I don't know if you follow them on Instagram.
They are
such a blessing to the community, like such a blessing, and they actually need more men, black men as well, to take part and help.
I see them patrolling,
but they do need more men to actually contribute. So they're doing a good job of trying to at least make a difference to stop the knife crime, because I don't see anyone else really doing anything. That's why we need to have these talks to air it out. We have to, and that's one of the blessings of social media, because you can push this stuff out there too. As long as they allow us to, No,
we also got my brother X from Man in Action. He's doing the same thing as well. So big up my brother. You get me? Man in Action. Those that don't know get to know.
Man in Action, yeah.
Yeah, respect to anyone who's trying to make a difference, to make sure the streets are good for our children, they're blessed, because we need that. We definitely need that.
100%. 100%.
But divide and conquer, right?
Divide and conquer,
That's why you gotta be smart, and you can't take the bait. You can't lie. If you're taking the bait, it means you're a dummy. Straight up. You're the dum-dums taking the bait. Literally. But educate yourself, people. Don't be ignorant. Divide and conquer. There's a reason why they want to do that. Straight up. I'm just going to talk it how it is. I'm here to talk the truth.
100. And people, what I will say is that check, man. Like, if you're going out anywhere, I won't say stay in your yard, but just use your internet to check locations of where these protests might be popping up. Check if there's one in your local area today. You know what I mean? Go out, make sure you're vigilant if it's safe enough to do so. You know what I mean? Just keep your eyes on. I'm not saying be paranoid, but just, and if you feel any or smell any funniness in the air or whatever, and there's an energy around you that makes you feel like you're not safe, man, just leave your shopping bags at the door and just go home, man. Shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Preserve yourself first, man. Make sure your kids and all that and you are safe, man. Just get home in one piece. You get me?
Yeah. Definitely. And all the people who are speaking up against it, enough respect, because it's easy to stay quiet, but that's a weak movement. I'll be real. You stay quiet on this subject, I think you're weak as a person.
100%.
Like, talk up. You have to talk up about this stuff, even if it makes people uncomfortable. It is what it is. Why are you uncomfortable? Ask yourself why you are so uncomfortable with this topic of conversation being brought up, when we need to educate people more. And don't come for me, okay? Because you're just going to get blocked.
Raw.
I'm just going to get blocked. I'm not even going to feed your energy. And if I do, I will dog walk you, so don't come for me.
Dog walk, you know.
Yeah, I will dog walk you, so don't come for me. In my DMs, in my comment sections, straight.
Mm.
No, I'm at that point where now when I come on here, I'm just keeping it a buck.
100%.
And those that recognize real will be cool with it. Real recognizes real at the end of the day. And the fake ones can do one. Straight.
I think the people that follow Triggered Thoughts podcast, they like when you talk like that anyway still, so you're good.
Yeah, because I love everyone, man. I love people. I do. And I just think, why can't we just be cool and just, do better? We can do better if we want to do better, you know? By weeding out the ignorant ones, bit by bit. I say poly, literally. Slowly, it means, yeah? But, don't sit in that mind frame. I don't want people to sit in that mind frames of like, oh, we can't change anything. Yes, you can. You can by speaking up and not accepting the BS straight. Talk up. When you see that it's wrong, talk up. Don't be complicit. Don't. Otherwise, you are a part of the problem. Straight up. Because anybody in my circle, I don't care if they're pink, purple, yellow, green, come with any of that ignorance. I can't lie, I'm going to educate you. For real. I'm going to educate you. Like, and it doesn't matter who you are, you know? So, yeah.
Tell them. You know what I mean?
I get my charger. My battery's trying to die.
You getting in, man. I feel like I was getting told off by mama. I don't know where that.
Okay. But yeah. I don't know if we've eaten into the time. Sorry. D.
Yeah, we're close now still. Yeah, we're on the money. Yeah, man. Please, any last words, people?
Stay safe out there, man.
Stay safe.
Yeah, stay safe, be vigilant, and don't be taken in by the bait.
Yeah,
so, I mean, don't get yourself in trouble. There's been a lot of arrests. Yeah, just, watch out for your children. And just tell people to be safe and vigilant.
Yeah.
I remember what happened with the Mark Duggan case when the riots happened then.
Yeah.
All these people came out with balaclavas and thought they were slick. So they can get past the cameras and cause crime and cause vandalism and all these kind of things there. But what you don't recognize is the police have got cameras and the councils have got cameras everywhere. And you might have got out your car and then slipped your balaclava down your face. But at some point you passed the camera and your balaclava went over your face. They will catch you on camera before you pulled it down. And when they recognize it's you, expect them to come bust down your door the next morning because you all get nicked. So if you're smart, blood, stay out of that, blood. You know what I mean? You understand? Because they've done it before, like I said, and they're going to do it again. They've already started doing it. I've seen footage in Sunderland where they've gone, bust the door down and got one woman. So they've already started doing that. So be careful what you're doing.
Yeah, that's all right.
Yeah?
People, stop destroying your own community. Make it make sense.
Yeah, that is
fighting against the wrong people. Why are you not fighting against the fact that there's so many homeless people on the street? There's children who don't really eat proper meals when they're at home because their parents are having to pay all these stupid bills, but they ain't got no income raising. Their income's not raised at all. You're not getting good wages. Come on, you're not fighting against the right people. We're not supposed to be fighting each other. I thought COVID would have taught us that we're actually supposed to be fighting against the government, but clearly people miss something. Why they're even entertaining this foolishness? Like, we definitely know it's wrong. We acknowledge that children got hurt. Even that annoyed me too, because I can't lie. If he was big enough to do the crime, show his proper face.
100%.
Show his face. Don't show us no baby picture of him. Show his face.
That's why I believe he was an agent. Yes, that's why I believe he was an agent, blood.
You know? And why are they doing it at this time? It's true. What's the agenda? Because they've always got a plan that they've had their meeting about way before we even peep sometimes what's going on. That's why you need to educate yourself. Knowledge is power. Do your research. Open your eyes to see what is going on.
When have you ever seen a black person commit a mad crime like that and they've never shown their face with happiness on the TV or anything? When have you ever seen that put up pick me picture? Never, blood. So to me, that alone spells a madness, bruv. Like you's an agent, bruv. You know what I mean? Sorry, I don't care what no one says. He's been paid to carry out something for a purpose.
Wicked atrocity like that on innocent children who are just doing something fun. Their defenses are down.
What's the motive? How did he even know that place was there? He got a taxi there, apparently. How did he know that was there? Like, it don't make no sense.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and they ain't even come and said, oh, we believe he did it because of this. You know what I'm saying? There's no motive, blood. So, I don't know, man. It seems bait, bruv. You know what I mean? Might be some AI.
There's loads of crisis actors out there.
There you go.
Didn't anyone learn that from COVID?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Some people are seeing what they want to see. It's all there in plain sight if you open your eyes.
Yeah. 100.
Hence why they keep trying to block platforms like us, because we're highlighting it.
Yeah. For real. I just want to say a quick message to the right wing. Right wing. I know you lot feel like you're doing your thing right now and you're causing your distraction and all that. And all these believers out here that are chanting the same thing. That's cool. Run with what you want to run with. But when you're inciting and encouraging and speaking from the same hymn sheet, even though you might be someone that stays behind the keyboard and doesn't go out there, but you know people that do go out there and you're gassing them up to go out there, they're going to go to the wrong area one day. And when they go to the wrong area one day, they're going to buck up on some very dangerous people. I've seen this before. And when they buck up on the dangerous people, it's going to result in them losing their lives, because there's people out there that are going to pull out a shank, as long as their leg, you know, and sink it in your chest. You understand? When they feel that you're coming for them. So, right wings, mind what you're wishing for, you know. If I was you, I would retreat, because you're covering all over the place and that. And I'm hearing that you're trying to go South London and all that, Croydon and all these kind of things. You're going to go into the wrong area and you're going to find what you're asking for. Remember Verbz told you, you know, when you lose life, boy, don't say I didn't warn you.
Yeah, because I see a post and a guy was saying, an Asian guy was saying, what? You want to come to Walthamstow and Hackney and then? And I was like, boy.
Madness.
Please don't start a war on the streets, okay? Because some of us just want peace for ourselves and our people and our children. Please.
Someone's gonna get murked soon, that's all I know.
And it's so horrible because it just causes a ripple effect of pain and destruction. Literally. I just need human beings to understand that when you hurt one human being, you hurt all of us.
100. Yeah.
That's the truth.
Yeah.
You hurt all of us because there's a ripple effect.
For real.
And it's not cool, man.
For real. And
it's not cool.
Let me give the right wingers one example. Me and my friend was talking the other day about the George Floyd thing, the BLM marches. And you right wingers are gonna be running up and down and going on like you're high on power, high on energy and ready to do whatever. But there was a man that used to be a National Front man that got caught outside Waterloo Station after marching, and the man them on the live video was busting his head with Guinness bottles and all sorts. That man was gonna die. He was making his way to it, because you lot are all together when you're in certain locations, but you don't live in the same place. So what happens is you start to disperse and spread out. When you do that, there'll be certain people that are slick waiting for you. That's what happened to that man outside Waterloo Station. And he got his head bust. And if the very big black man, the people that you don't like, didn't put him over and firemen carry him out, that man will be dead. I guarantee you that man is not an NF no longer. Learn your lesson.
Yes, I remember that.
That's crazy.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. And they were asking the black man, how comes he didn't, get involved and be violent? And he was a very upstanding man. I can't remember his name, but...
Security guy from South London, isn't it?
It said a lot about him as a person, bless him, honestly, because he literally picked the man up and put him over his shoulder and took him to safety.
Like a baby.
Right. Come on. Yeah.
The same people you dislike saved your life, bruv.
Yeah, it's like... It's ignorant to not like someone just because of the colour of their skin. It's mad. I cut myself now and I cut someone of a different race. We ain't different underneath this. We're the same.
You see pink flesh and white blood and red blood afterwards.
Exactly. So I'm sorry. Where does it say that someone is more superior than anyone? Okay, but no one says, I don't give a damn if you got more money than me. I don't care if you think you're more superior because of your race. That shit does not exist. That's in your mind, straight up. Because none of us are more superior than anyone.
100%. It's the 5% gassing them up, innit? The 5% of the world, mate. The ones with the P's, the ones who Genius mentioned last time, and then the software start mashing us up. Men are saying on them because them now cut me to death.
It's all right. We all know. We never click. We know. We out there. I see you. You see me. We see each other.
Yeah, trust me. Trust me. But listen, people, we're gonna close off the thing now, man. You know what I mean? Hopefully, anyone that was listening, although this episode is more of a chitter-chatter, sofa chat, you know what I mean? Anyone that's listening can understand and agree where we're coming from. Everybody's got different experiences coming up that's made them the way that they are. But ultimately, I'm sure that most people, if not all of us, would like to be in a position on the planet where everybody looks at each other as equals. Everybody respects each other's culture, religions, whatever. Even if you're not religious, it don't mean you can't respect somebody's religion. Even if you've grown up in an area where there's no black people, it don't mean you can't show respect to a black person when you see them. It should make you kind of fascinated. Do you know what I'm saying? If anything. Do you know what I'm saying? So we should all just learn to live together.
Yeah.
We should learn to respect each other. We should all be thinking about the kids. Do you know what I'm saying? Because racism has a funny way of making people think that they're elite and at the top. And that could mean that people who are white on this British soil think that they're elite and on the top. But just because they might feel like that, it doesn't mean that your racist ways won't make you end up being in a position where your life's in danger because you echoed that or you threw that at somebody and made them feel threatened, and now they're coming at you with a different barrage of defense where you lose your life. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There's an action causes a reaction. You get what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, let's try and put ourselves in a position where we learn, we set pace for our children to live better than we do. Because this is what we're seeing right now. I'm sure everybody can agree. It's fucking embarrassing, blood. You understand? So yeah, I'm going to say good night From me, Verbz.
Good night for myself, Genius Man.
Good night from that Divine Lady 23.
I will see you guys next week on the next episode of the Triggered Thoughts Podcast.
Yo, what you texting for? You listening to the Triggered Thoughts Podcast, blood?